and see what we can find. Brett, good afternoon. We'll see what kind of press releases. We've got 4 minutes to go. Good afternoon. Kathy, good afternoon. Ahmed, good afternoon. Avril, good afternoon. Sheila, good afternoon over there. Good afternoon over there in TikTok land. Yeah, it's hard to get used to my my head and body floating in the middle of the screen, doesn't it? I can change that so there's only one screen there, and then put my picture down in the corner like I used to. And I may try that just to see the difference in it. As I mentioned before, it's all experimentation right now with the layout on Zoom, since I had to switch trading platforms. It's all experimental. I'll find something that works out pretty good. One and only Vicky, good afternoon. Is it the one and only Vicky? That's the question. There's about 9 of them. I think there's about 9 different Vickies that tune in between YouTube and TikTok and Zoom. There's about 9 Vickies, I think. That's probably an exaggeration, but it feels like there's about 9 of them. But you are the one and only. The only one that matters. Oh, goodness. Oh, Andy, good afternoon. SGBX, OBIO, ACRV, SAFX, POP. We've got 42 seconds, and we're going to see what's going to pop here in after hours. I hope you guys are ready. I am ready. I am ready. William, good afternoon. Josh, good afternoon. I hope you're ready to go with these press releases. We've got 13 seconds. We're going to find out just what's running in after hours. We need a press release, baby. Let's shake them dice up and let's get this table hot. Here we go. A CPOP, CPOP. It just popped up 48%. CPOP. It went up like 50% and then fell straight back down again. They do that sometimes. All right, let's see what we've got here. CPOP, CPOP reports a stellar 2025 fiscal year revenue, surpasses $100 million for the first time, surging 127%. year on year. That's on CPOP, CPOP. So that's what's making that one jump. Stellar revenues for 2025. Keep an eye on it. We're going to keep an eye on her. All right. So we've got CPOP that moved up there. What else do we got here? YDDL reports a strong first half 2025 results. So another financial on that one. YDDL. Let's see. What else? Number 17 to partner. Is CPOP gonna pop? That's the question. Caps moving up. CAPS. CAPS, that one's up 15%. Got about 128,000 shares on it in after hours. It's running on an old press release from earlier this morning. So we don't have any current news on that one. ATGL is up about 14%. It's right up there with CAPS. ATGL. Not much volume, though. The only thing that has any reputable volume right now in after hours is CPOP. And CAPS. CAPS is coming up close behind it. CAPS. They're at about 245,000 shares here in after hours. And CPOP is at about 670,000. So neither one of them's hit 1 million yet, but looks like CPOP's going to hit it first. Let's see. PRZO strengthens its European anti-drone capabilities with a significant purchase order for Defend Air system from a leading Dutch defense distributor. That's on PRZO. So we've got CPOP, CPOP, that's up about 48%. CAPS is number 2 so far, and it's only up 17%. And everything else is a distant third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. There's nothing really even close. So kind of waiting on CPOP here. It popped very quickly on that press release, and it's been pulling down for the last 3 minutes. Let's hope that turns itself around a little bit. Now let's take a look at CAPS. So far, CAPS is hanging on. It's not doing anything crazy or dramatic or anything, but it is hanging in there so far. And it looks like CPOP wants to pop. Let's see if we can get it over $1. Wouldn't $1 be sweet on that one? VWAP right now is at about 56 cents. So it's trading way over VWAP. RSI's about 76, so it's up in that overbought area. But that's okay. That doesn't bother me. Let's see. AVTX filed a Form 4. NOTV. Take a look. Preliminary fiscal 2025 fourth quarter and full year results. NOTV. Got a quick pop and then a little tiny pullback on that one. We'll see where that goes. Click, CLIK. Click. This is a micro float. Announces a strategic acquisition of HK-based HR specialist to ignite synergies and accelerate market leadership in human resource solutions. That's on CLIK. Click. It's listed as a micro float with 653,000 public float. And if that float is correct, that should pop off pretty good. Should go up over 10. Let me look at the 6 month here. Oh, yeah. With enough volume, that one hits 10. But we've got to get the right kind of volume. We've got to get that buying volume. We'll see if it bounces off of VWAP here. Let's see. You kind of fool yourself, sweetheart. Not your sweetheart. Hate to break it to you. CPOP up 45%. Looks like it's pulling down here a little bit. Can't quite make up its mind. Click doing the same thing. Cap's not doing anything. Doesn't look like any of them are really moving here. CPOP is about the only one that's really popped up and stayed up there. I'm getting a lot of press releases popping up, but they're all in the red. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to me. Still looking for Click to run up to 10. Yeah, Terry, I am. Still looking for Click, CLIK, to run to 10. Oh, C-Pop. Come on, baby. That just feels like it wants to run to $1. It really, really looks like it wants to go to $1. HIVE. I don't even see that one in the top 25. What's that one? APLT. APLT's up about 13%. It's up to 32 cents now. Still waiting on Click. Started out slow this morning in pre-market. 7:30. It was even around 8. It was kind of slow, but it picked up for us pretty nice. We had a couple of really good trades on some press releases. Started out slow though. All right. RYET. RYET. Let's see what that's all about. RYET. RYET. We got a 12 million public float. We've got what do we got here? We got a press release from this morning. They announced this morning the commercial release of Cogni AI. That was on RYET. Runyon EDAI Technologies. Okay, we've got some more press releases here. We're not seeing anything popping. Lee, Schedule 13. TELA, Tela, is announcing inducement grants. That's kind of a non-event. Boy, everything wants to pull down here. FENC announces closing of an offering. FENC. I'm looking for Click to go to 10. Anybody else playing it? Should be up about $1 or so. Should be up about $1 if anybody was paying attention to me. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. That's okay. RYET. Not moving. Got it to bounce over $1 there, but that's all it had in it. CPOP is not popping. Click. What do we hit? 839, 830, 845. We might get that up to 10. We're in the money. Like I said this morning, we're in the money. Whether we stay in the money is up to us. The stock handed us one. It made us green. And then what we choose to do that is up to us. Not seeing anything else popping here off of news. I would like that Click to go ahead and just get on over 9 right now and, get this wait over with. Because once it passes 9, it's going to 10 pretty quick, I believe. But we've got to get it up to that 9 first. You got to break 9. So I'm wishing and hoping it would just hurry up already. And then we don't have to worry about it. See, once it gets over 9, then we've got a good enough entry. We can afford to let it dip and pop and dip and let it breathe a little bit without panic selling. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Oh, boy, there is just nothing. Hive. How about Caps? Oh, look at Caps. Oh, that didn't age well. There goes Click. Click looks like it's wanting to drop here. Let's see. ENTA earnings. ENTA is announcing fiscal fourth quarter earnings snapshot. GRRR, Gorilla Technology, reports record revenue in quarter 3 and issues their 2026 guidance. On GRRR. APLT, Applied Therapeutics, that one's moving up. It's been slowly sloping up here since 4 o'clock. Pushing up nicely, though. It's up about 25%. Got good volume on it, 5.9 million shares in after hours. Huh. Will CPOP 69 cents. So right now we've got CPOP. Now, wait a minute. Let me take a look at this one. Now, how many of you went and looked at SSP this morning when we told you to? We mentioned SSP this morning and told you to keep an eye on this stock. Hopefully, some of you did and was able to scale out a little money off of it. 743 to 801 on click. Good job. SSP still trying to move up here in after hours. Click 728 to 801. Nice, JR. Let's see where we're at here with CPOP. We need CPOP to pop. CPOP to $1 would be really, really sweet. Well, this is not panning out well, is it? We're not getting anything here. Maybe 4:30 we'll get a press release at 4:30 that'll help us out. Fingers crossed. Right now we've got CPOP is up in terms of percentage. CPOP is number one. It's up 31. Now NOTV, remember NOTV? I pointed that one out to you a little bit earlier. It just took over the number one spot. It just popped. I don't know how many of you went and looked at it. Did anybody go look at that? NOTV. I mentioned this one to you when it popped from 70 cents to 82 cents, and then it pulled back to 70 cents again. Now it just popped again to $1.14. So NOTV's up. It's number one right now. It's up about 46%. So it's the number one climber in percentage, followed by CPOP, CPOP, which is up about 30%. APLT is up 18%. And RYET, that one's up about 12%. That's the top four. And that's not saying a lot because nothing's really popping off here. So that's not saying much. I'm really waiting on that press release. We were patient this morning and waited on the press release, and it came to us, and we made a good chunk of money on it. So just doing that here in after hours as well. Waiting on the press release. Again, I'll ask, did anybody go look at SSP? We mentioned it this morning in pre-market and told you to keep your eye on this stock. I must have said that a dozen times to keep your eye on that stock. They had really good news out. Take a look at it now. Let's see. SSP is at $4.44. Lucky number 444. We'll see if it'll bust up through there and hit 450. Doesn't have a tremendous amount of volume on it, really. Why is it not showing up here? What kind of volume we got? SSP. $62 million public float. It's only got about 85,000 shares on it. 86,000 shares traded in after hours, and that's it. So it's not getting a lot of volume in after hours, but it's pushing up on what little bit of volume it is getting. We just hit 448. We've got about 1 minute to go. And with any luck, 4:30 will throw something at us. CPOP. Click. P. All right, SSP up to 448 now. Be nice to see that break 450. All right, what do we got here at 4:30? AVTX announces inducement grants. We already knew about that. AIRE launches internal AI-powered engagement assistant to automate lead management and streamline mortgage workflow. That's on AIRE. That's about it. So let's take a look at AIRE. and see what kind of a bump we get on that press release. So it immediately jumped up. AIRE has let's take a look at the float here. We have 94 million public float. So it's got a sizable float there. 7 million shares shorted on it. Pretty sizable float though. So it's not the ideal setup, but if it's moving, it's moving, but it's not the ideal setup for me. Float's too high. MNDR, micro float, MNDR, Mobile Health Solutions. Company CEO increases equity stake through an open market purchase. So the CEO is buying stock on the open market on MNDR. So we'll put that one in the pipe and smoke it and see what that one does. That one's got, like I said, it's listed as a micro float, 757,000 shares. We know what micro floats can do, so we'll keep an eye on it. How many of you went and looked at GRRR on that financial report? Record revenues. And they issued their 2026 guidance. That's gone from upper $12 range to $14.94 so far. Pulled back a little here, but the market's throwing out a couple here and there of decent press releases that are moving up a little bit. MNDR is not one of them at the moment. Let's see, AIRE, AIRE, pop up, pop down. Let's see, CPOP. CPOP. Look at CPOP. Look at that. Who's a good boy? Oh, my goodness. Look at that. 81. It took a nice little pop, didn't it? CPOP trying to recover. No TV coming down. How about MNDR? APLT, that one's coming down. We might get CPOP up to $1 yet. It might just pop. CPOP is trying to pop. It doesn't look like we're going to get 100% runner here on a press release. Not today and after hours. It's possible, but it's probably going to be later than what I stay on. That's for sure. I don't see anything potentially running that high other than CPOP. Nothing else really has a chance to do that. Unless we get a new press release, we could get something new here in the next 10 minutes that could run 300%. SSP at 442. Want that one to break 450. RLGT authorizes a $5 million share buyback program. That's on RLGT. Boy, there is just nothing going on. Oh, God. Somebody sing to me. Somebody entertain me for a minute. Click. I don't think Click is going to 9 unless it breaks this downward trend here pretty quick. Let's go back and look just at a little bit bigger picture here. I think if this thing can show enough strength to get back to 8, VWAP is at 778. I think if we can show enough strength to get back to 8, I think it'll continue climbing up to at least 9. But we just have to watch. It's trying to get back up there to, you can see where it hit VWAP up here and got rejected twice. I want it to get up over VWAP, and it'll hit that 8 if it does. And we could get a nice strong push on some volume, but that's all speculation. PRZO, again, with their new major order from a major Dutch counter drone systems customer. DRCT Direct. DRCT. What do we got there? DRCT, Digital Direct Holdings. We seem to be getting a bump here. We seem to be getting a little bump upwards. They filed a looks like they filed a Form 4, a SEC filing, right about 4 o'clock this afternoon. SEC Form 4 and an S1. Now all of a sudden it decides it wants to curl up a little bit. DRCT. JHX announces the appointment of Nigel Stein as chair of its board of directors. And appoints Ryan Leda as chief financial officer. Looks like Click is trying to push up through VWAP. VWAP's at $7.78. This thing's at $7.63. It's trying. Let's go back and check on SSP, shall we? Let's see. Back up to 440. 446. 448. And there goes Click. It wanted VWAP bad, 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 bad. SSP now at 453. You got booted out of Zoom? Are you back in? Looks like you're back in again. Don't know how that happens. SSP at 456. Click at 835. Well, Click got all the way back to 844 before it got pulled back. Almost got back to that 9. It was trying. It may not be done yet. We'll keep our fingers crossed and toes crossed. Hope retail cooperates with us. Oh my gosh. What is we got here? 79 degrees. Looks like the temperature's dropping just a little bit. Beautiful today in Central Florida. It was beautiful today. Just beautiful. The weather was phenomenal. Come on, Click. We want Click to click. All right, let's go back and look at NOTV. NOTV trying to push back up over $1 again. Not a bad little rally there. That pushed up pretty good. It's gone up 20 cents since it pulled back. Not bad. Cold in Ohio, huh? It's nice and warm here in Central Florida. I'm very thankful to be here. Extremely thankful. NOTV. Boy, it looks like it wants to dollar. It just can't quite make up its mind. Well, got about 11 minutes to go here. 11 minutes before I call it a night. Good old Mark Chestnut. NOTV at $1 now. Finally decided to hit $1 again. Well, if something pops up, we'll let you know, but I don't see anything. Look at NOTV now at 104. Well, we've pointed you in the right direction for all the stocks that are moving up here in after hours. The challenge is the timing. Some of them are spiking really beautiful for some nice plays and then dropping. And they're all kind of doing it at different times. So you really got to be slick with the timing on a few of these. But they're certainly going up enough to make good plays on them. Boy, the news has been awful this afternoon. Been horrible. NOTV just smacked 106. Can it go any higher? JHX. This is the one that announced the new chief financial officer and the new chairman of their board. Sneaky. It started out kind of slow. Pre-market, the press releases this morning they weren't coming very quickly. We had a lot of them, just not anything good. The first 7 o'clock press releases, the 7:30 press releases. I think we had one at 7:30, and then we had another one, I believe, at 8:30 that went off real nice for us. That was about it. We only really had two that really amounted to anything in pre-market, but they were enough that we made good money on them. So that was what was important. I always tell everybody, we only need one. You only need one to go crazy for you and make your whole day worthwhile. Terry, you have a great evening. I was hoping to get at least one here in after hours. But I just haven't seen anything that inspired me that much, except for Click. I thought Click would go a little higher than it has, but still hanging tough. Still hanging tough with Click. Still looking for 10. May have to hold that one overnight. I don't know. Hopefully not. That's what I'm looking for anyway. $10 on CLIK. It checked off a couple of the boxes for me. So I'm going to just hold tight and be patient, see where it goes. Well, not a whole lot going on. Got 5 minutes. If the press release isn't out by 5, then I'm not going to get it. I'll just sit and watch Click on Webull in after hours on my phone and turn the computer off and be done. I can only stare at the computer for so many hours during the day, and it's just too much. Doing it just in pre-market for 3 hours in pre-market is enough. I mean, if you can sit from all of pre-market and then sit through the whole day watching stocks on the market, I mean, more power to you, but I can't do that. I make mine in pre-market and then I'm done for the day. I try to be completely done for the day and not mess with it. There's no sense in staring at that darn screen. Because most everything tanks and falls apart at 9:30 anyway. It's a horrible time to trade. That's my opinion, though. I think starting your trading at 9:30 is not a terribly smart way to do it, in my opinion. Not when all the press releases are coming out in pre-market, at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30, 9. All these press releases are coming out, and these stocks are running on these press releases. That's when you should be trading, taking advantage of those press releases, because once they run on that press release, they die off and they're done. Now, every once in a while, you'll get a continuation. The market will open and it'll keep running up. And that does happen sometimes, but that's not the normal thing. That's far from norm. The vast majority of these press releases in pre-market, they run up in pre-market, they come back down. And by the time the market opens, they're either already pulled halfway back down or they've pulled all the way back down. And then when the market opens, they really pull back down. So to me, the trading is in pre-market. So I just don't like sticking around from 9:30 on. And then on top of it, you've got Wall Street jumping in at 9:30, and they're manipulating the crap out of those stocks. They are. I mean, let's be honest. They're manipulating those stock prices. They're making money. Absolutely, they're making money. And we might get lucky and make money along with them if we're just happen to be on the same side of the trade. But they're doing it for them. They're not doing it for us. So I'd rather just trade when I know there's fewer of them and more of us. And we have the press release. That's a beautiful catalyst. How early can you trade on Webull? 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah, and then at 9:30, you got all the halts. Halting it going up, halting it going down. It's a mess. How many times have we seen stocks that they get a really good momentum and they halt it like 15, 20 times on its way up? It's crazy. It's hard to. Sometimes they halt it. As soon as it releases, it spikes instantly and halts again. I mean, you can't even get in. You can't even trade the damn thing. And then it does it again. It'll release and it'll spike and halt. And it's like it's impossible to get into this dumb thing. And they'll climb up $2, $3, $4, and you still can't get in because it keeps halting. It's a pain in the butt. Where in pre-market, once it starts running, there's no halting. And if it wants to run from 50 cents to $23 in pre-market, off it goes, and that's exactly where it's going to go. So I just assume trade in pre-market. And I get up at 3:30 so I can turn my scanner on. The Wolfpack, the people that have subscription to our Zoom trading, I turn on my pre-market scanner so they can see what's running in pre-market. And I turn that on at 4 o'clock in the morning when the market opens, Eastern time. So they can come into Zoom at 4 a.m. in the morning and see the scanner and see what stocks are moving. And the scanner is sorted by percentage. So everything that's moving, the highest percentage of movers are at the top of the list. And it's in real time. So they're trading places with each other as they're moving up or down. And you can see the float for each stock on that list. You can see the number of shares that are shorted for it. You can see the total volume for it, whether there's news or not. And I turn that on at 4 a.m. for everybody, all of our subscribers. And there's not usually, we first started doing it, there was like 20, 25, 30 people or so that was going in there first thing in the morning. Now it's backed off quite a bit. Now there's, maybe 9, 10, 12 that pop in there early to use the scanner. But it's just because it's so early. 4 o'clock. I mean, who wants to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning trading? I do. I'm up at 3:30 to get everything running, but it's early. I know it's early. It's really early. Yeah, Webull, in my opinion, Webull is the way to go. If you want to do early morning pre-market trading, I think Webull's a pretty solid choice. Pretty solid choice. The app is, in my opinion, very user-friendly on the phone. Very user-friendly. A lot of information. They allow trading at 4 o'clock. I think it's a really solid choice. There's some other trading platforms out there that allow 4 a.m. trading. But I think out of all of those, I think Webull is a pretty solid choice. Not so much Robinhood. I'm not a big Robinhood fan. I think Robinhood has done people dirty. But again, just an opinion. So I think Webull's the way to go for that. And then when I trade in after hours, like tonight, I buy in after hours on Webull, not on my regular trading platform, which is E-Trade. I buy on Webull. And the reason is, if I buy something in after hours tonight and I decide that I want to hold it overnight in case it takes off running at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I can take advantage of that big spike and sell off, if I buy it on Webull tonight, I can sell it tomorrow morning on Webull. If I buy it tonight on E-Trade in after hours and hold it overnight, I can't touch it until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning because E-Trade doesn't start till 7 a.m. So if it spikes up way high, I miss out on a great trade. If it tanks and drops way below my buy-in price, I'm screwed because I can't get out. There's nothing I can do. So I find the best thing to do, if you're going to buy in after hours and you think there's any chance you might hold it overnight, buy it on a platform that allows 4 a.m. trading. And then you make sure you get up at 4 a.m. to watch it. And if you don't want to get up at 4 a.m., if you don't want to be up at 5 a.m. Eastern time, then I don't know, maybe not buy something in after hours and hold it overnight. I've seen too many people get wrecked. Yeah, somebody else mentioned that they had heard it was E-Trade Pro was being delayed until February, but I think it's fake news because I had several people in our community that tried it this morning and it was gone. I tried mine over the weekend about 4 times and it was gone. I couldn't get back in. So I don't know. I hope they bring it back. I hope, I would love to continue using it for another couple of months. That'd be great. All right. Well, that's going to be it. It's after 5 o'clock. We didn't get any more press releases at 5. There's nothing there. All right. Wolfpack. I'll be on at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, 4 a.m. I'll have the scanner up on the screen so you can see what's moving in pre-market starting at 4 for everybody that wants to be a part of it. If you need to join at 5 or 5:30 or 6 or whatever you're up and ready to go. Just know that Zoom will be on and you can pop in anytime you want. I won't go live until 6:45, but the meeting will be open and that scanner will be on the screen. TikTok, YouTube, we'll see you tomorrow morning also at 7:45 Eastern time. And we'll be on for about 15 minutes. We'll give you the 8 o'clock press releases that come out at 8. And then we'll say goodbye and get back to our Zoom meeting because we've got more press releases coming out at 8:30. And we want to make sure we're ready for those with our community. So you guys have a great night. It's time for me to get some supper. You guys have a beautiful evening. God bless. And I'll see everybody tomorrow morning.